Do you like beef jerky as much as I do? Well, in this video we're going to be showing you the easiest way to cook it. Stick around. When we come back I'll have everything set up. So before I open the meat up, let me kind of take one side step. This is a jerky knife. This was actually probably 20 years old. These things you have to be really careful with. They're very sharp. And then this was actually done by, it's the original jerky knife, and I believe this is by High Mountain Jerky Company. This is a board, so this is a 1/4 inch gap in here for thinner beef jerky. Or if you want to do thicker beef jerky, you can do on this side. So the thinner that it is, the quicker that it will dry out in the electric oven, smoker, or the conventional oven that we have over here. Cabela's is one type of jerky kit that there's out there right now. The other one that has a wide variety is the High Mountain beef jerky kit. And as I'll show you here in the illustration, you'll see all kinds of varieties that you can make. So the eye of round, you want to get something around 5 pounds. The reason why is in the jerky making kit, you can make up to 5 pounds of beef jerky. This was a really good cut of meat. I was really surprised on just the little amount of fat that we had on this. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and get the jerky sliced up. And again, I will cut it several different ways and then shorten this up a little bit so that when I cut it in strips, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. This is really important when we put this in the oven, that everything is of the same thickness so it dries at the same time. So this is kind of one thing that you're going to notice, that you're going to have some of the veins running through the meat right here. This might be a little bit tougher, but hopefully once it comes out, you won't notice that. That's one advantage of slicing. You can kind of see this, one advantage of slicing it along this way. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put this on the flat and slice this up. And then get ready to put our marinade together to our jerky cure. So I did this on the thicker side, and I didn't really mean to do that. I meant to do it on the thinner side, but that's fine. We'll just cook this in a separate, we'll just kind of know exactly where to put that. So now we're gonna go ahead and try to cut on the thinner side. This is really the thickness that you want on this. I'll also put a link in the up above some of the different jerky boards that are out there right now. Cabela's makes several different ones. I don't think that you can get the wood ones anymore, but I mean, you might be able to. But now that they're a little bit more hygienic with kind of the plastic and actually have really good grooves that you can stick your knife in. So you're going to have a little bit of fat mixed in with some of this. We can come out and try to trim a little bit of this off before I throw it in the marinade. So this piece of meat wasn't too bad. I've gotten some pieces that look like this that are really devoid of fat. So now we have the meat all cut up here, and what we'll go ahead and do is mix together the pepper blend with the sugar cure and mix the meat up. Here's the sugar cure and the pepper blend. So now we have the sugar cure and the pepper seasoning mixed together. We'll go ahead and add our water in here and go ahead and just get your hand and just stir it up. I found that if I keep the meat into a larger piece, it lays across the grates a little bit better. After it's dried, it will shrink down anyway, but half the fun of it is kind of pulling this apart and kind of snacking on it. So now I will go ahead and add the meat to the blend, and I'll pretty much just add it all in here at one time. So if you'll notice that the meat will start turning a little bit of a color here, that just means that sugar cure is starting to work. If you see if the meat's a little bit red, just kind of rub a little bit of it in. And this might take a few minutes. I usually kind of turn this, say for about 4 or 5 minutes, and the pieces that are red like this, I just kind of massage the sugar cure in. You can see the difference between this side and this side. So it'll all start kind of looking like this, and that's what you want. Okay, now what we're going to do is to go ahead, I have a 1 gallon Ziploc bag. What we're going to do is put all the meat in this bag. Now that we have all of the meat baggied into the 1 gallon container, we'll go ahead and stick this in the refrigerator overnight. Usually you want to have at least 6 to 8 hours to let a lot of that sugar cure blend in along with the spices. One thing that I've done, I can kind of experiment a little bit with it. I can take away some of the pepper, or I can add some other ingredients. Typically what I'll do is, might add some chopped, some minced garlic like you buy in the jar, just to add something a little bit different. So once you have this sealed up, make sure that you have this sealed up tight. You don't want this to roll over in the refrigerator and leak out. When we come back, we'll go ahead and lay this out on the grates that we have, and we'll explain what temperature you need to have your oven at. Today we're going to be setting the oven at 170, or the lowest temperature that you can possibly set it at. Go ahead and prep your meat that you're going to do on a pan. Then what you'll do is go ahead and get a piece of aluminum and roll it up into a ball. Go ahead and place your jerky in the oven. Go ahead and close the door. You will put the piece of foil in the oven. What this is doing is allow the moisture to escape the oven. We're also going to go ahead and cook in the electric smoker. We'll set that at 165 degrees. This smoker comes with a automatic fan that will suck out the moisture as it heats at 165. The important thing, as I said earlier, this commercial grade electric smoker will cook up to 5 pounds of meat. Just remember, every time that you open up the oven door to check on the jerky, it will take at least 10 more minutes to cook the jerky. I found that the electric smoker will take roughly 6.5 hours, and then you will need to go ahead and check every hour on the hour. You might need to flip the jerky over. What I have found with the jerky is once you start seeing a little bit of the oil appear on the top of the jerky, it's time to flip it over and let it go for about another hour. This is how the jerky turned out. It took about 6.5 hours to do on the electric smoker out in the garage, and it took about 5.5 hours to do it in the oven. This is how it turned out. If you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe and hit like. I'm going to have more videos like this to come. Look forward to seeing you soon.